I'll also be signing an executive order to begin the process of fundamentally reforming and overhauling FEMA, or maybe getting rid of FEMA. I think, frankly, FEMA is not good. I think when you have
That's crazy.
problem like this, I think you want to go and...
He wants to privatize disaster relief. That's amazing, dude. Dude, America is in the cool zone, baby. Excellent. I'm always thinking, how can we make this shit worse? And at a time of unparalleled crisis born out of anthropogenic climate change, perhaps the best thing you can do is, like, I don't know, relegate FEMA to Mr. Beast, okay? I don't even know how much worse you could get. Like, this is awesome. You know, that's right. We're giving it to Beastables. Going forward, if you want disaster recovery, you need Mr. Beast to come to your town and shoot the YouTube videos. He loves it. Barron tells me all the time. Barron knows so much about social media. You know, Barron is the reason why I went on TikTok. Barron loves Mr. Beast. He's doing FEMA. That's right. If you want disaster relief, you need to jump through some hoops. It's okay. It's good content. It's television. Mr. Beast is saving television. He's made $500 million per episode for Amazon. You know I hate Jeff Bezos. I don't like Amazon, but I love Jimmy Donaldson. He's going to be the government now.
Whether it's a Democrat or Republican governor, you want to use your state to fix it and not waste time calling FEMA, and then FEMA gets here and they don't know the area, they've never been to the area, and they want to give you rules that you've never heard about. They want to bring people that aren't as good as the people you already have. And FEMA's turned out to be a disaster. And you could go back a long way. You could go back to Louisiana. You could go back to some of the things that took place in Texas. It turns out to be the state that ends up doing the work. It just complicates it. I think we're going to recommend that FEMA go away. And we pay directly, we pay a percentage to the state. But the state should fix this. If the state did this...
That's crazy, man. Bro is... what's the equivalent here? You know what I mean? It's like saying, you know what's the issue with war? The vest, the Kevlar vest. We just gotta take these Kevlar vests off, you know? You need cotton. Cotton does the job. You don't need anything to stop bullets, okay? Does Kevlar even stop the bullets anyway? Don't use it. No more ceramic plates. Just cotton. Just use cotton. Plus, if you start bleeding, you can just put the cotton on the bullet wound. It'll be fine. What is happening right now? He's at a disaster relief site, man. You are doing a press briefing after a hurricane that hit an area that it was not supposed to at all. Okay, what the hell is going on? Sometimes I really do believe that, you know, Republicans just do bad things on purpose. Sometimes I do unironically feel like Trump will just advocate for a thing because he knows it's bad. He's just like, I know this is going to not be a good thing for people. I know this is going to be harmful for big swaths of the population, and that's why I'm advocating for it. I don't even get any material benefit out of it. You know what I mean? Like the FEMA privatization one is like obviously old school. You know, Republicans love stuff like that. They've always vilified FEMA. Alex Jones used to talk about how, like, you know, FEMA black sites. Conservatives have basically always assumed that FEMA has like too much power, like libertarian conspiracy theorists, and have always talked about how like there's FEMA facilities being set up. There's a FEMA black site that was set up camp right down the street from me. There's black helicopters, attack helicopters in the neighborhood. I'm AlexJones.com, Infowars.com, coming to you right now from a FEMA camp. I've infiltrated a FEMA death camp. Barack Obama's here. He smells like sulfur. He's trying to do butt stuff to me.
In the beginning, it would have been a lot better situation. I think you guys agree with that, right? So I just want to say that Asheville, I know it well. It's a great place, so we're going to have it be a great place again. That was the one that was most severely affected. But North Carolina is going to come back bigger, better, stronger than ever before. And you're going to be very thankful. And you've already seen, I know that it really began 4 days ago, but you've already seen more action than you have in the last 3 months. And we're going to get it together. We're informing the Army Corps of Engineers to get going because you have a lot of river breaks and a lot of areas that you're going to need some pretty big work. And they're on their way. They're going to be working very much harder than they've been working in the past, and we're going to take care of it.
Once again, when stuff like this happens, I just look out I just turn around and I look back and I remember that I'm in Tokyo, and it makes me feel good for a brief moment, you know? While everything seems awful, while the world seems horrifying, and Donald Trump is talking about cutting FEMA at the site of a, massively consequential hurricane relief effort. At least I'm in Tokyo, you know?
FEMA has been a very big disappointment. They cost a tremendous amount of money. It's very bureaucratic, and it's very slow. Other than that, we're very happy with them. Okay? And I think when there's a problem with the state, I think that problem should be taken care of by the state. That's what we have states for. They take care of problems. And a governor can handle something very quickly. One of the things I've noticed, because I've been doing this for a while, and we had a pretty good FEMA, but I also noticed that when they come, they end up in arguments. If they're fighting all the time over who does what. It's just not a good system.
Mr. President, have you decided how much funding you would allocate for disaster relief?
About what?
Have you decided how much funding you would allocate?
There's no way he can just whip around disaster relief funds, right? Dude, I think at the end of the day, usually they won't. Usually they will give all the funds necessary. But I'm going to keep it very real with you. He can do whatever he wants. No, what are you going to do about it is kind of the attitude here. What are you going to do about it? What are you going to do? Complain? Yeah. Donald Trump is who's going to stop him? Are you going to stop him? He's kind of the king. Yeah. Congress does his bidding. Even Democrats are capitulating now. They're falling in line. I can't really foresee anything changing all that dramatically. My suspicion is that he plays this role of politicizing disaster relief, but it's actually positive for the Republicans because their goal is to ultimately play politics with disaster relief to get certain bills done, certain bills passed that they normally wouldn't be able to. You know what I mean? That's what I think. Why didn't Biden give enough disaster relief? That's not true. There wasn't I don't think, as far as I understand, I don't think there was any sort of limitation on disaster relief from Biden. That would be really funny though. No, I don't think the Democrats. Look, I'm very critical of the Democrats, but I don't think they even remotely play that. They don't play that game at all. I would say that Republicans also end up giving the necessary funds. At least they have in the past, even under the Trump administration, where they've talked about potentially tying wildfire relief funds to something else. They end up doing it regardless. If I remember correctly, I think they did a clean bill last time. After complaining and claiming that they were not going to, they still ended up doing it because these are still American citizens at the end of the day. But I think this time around, maybe they'll use it to pass some I don't know, some kind of budget reconciliation.
I have to see what it is.
The one thing I'll say about Republicans is they talk a big talk about making the federal government teeny tiny and handing power back to the states, but they made almost no actually lasting progress to that end for a while. I think you have to remember that some semblance of federal control is good, especially because that's where all the big contracts are and that's where the big money is. So ultimately, I think that they still want to have some semblance of centralization so that they can end up offering massive contracts to their corporate benefactors.
For this one?
You just talked about possibly getting rid of FEMA. What timeline are you looking at and how would you do that?
Well, we're looking here you're talking about. To start, we're going to start immediately, timeline. And to finish, it's going to be a period of time. People are also rebuilding their houses. How long does it take to build a house, right? It takes some time. And I want them to build houses bigger, better, nicer than they had before, so they can have, at least they get something out of this disaster. This was a real disaster. No, timeline will be fast. In terms of infrastructure, I think very fast. I want to thank Elon because Elon was able to get us communication systems, as you know. Starlink.
Glaze.
We had no communication.
Glaze. Dude, I'm gonna be honest to you, dude. Hasan, what do you think is the next step here? Okay? Hasan, what do you think the Democratic Party could do in this circumstance? Okay. If I am a competent Democratic Party and not the current Democratic Party, I'm saying all of a sudden, let's say magically that the Democratic Party decided to be competent. Every single day of the week, I would keep running the line over and over again that the Democrats are officially the anti-billionaire party. Going forward, not fake though, actually sincerely become the anti-billionaire party, the anti-corporate oligarchy party. And every day of the week, you would just go, hey, isn't it weird how average Americans' interests are only served not when it actually pertains to their material realities like the egg prices or rent or housing or any number of different things that they would actually want solved, only when it comes to hating other Americans. Meanwhile, Donald Trump only seems to hear feedback and surround himself with the likes of literally liberal billionaires, like libtarded billionaires. You know what I mean? Like Sam Altman, the Oracle guy who looks like his skin is melting off his face. I keep forgetting his name. I don't know why it doesn't register in my mind. Larry Ellison, I think, right? Peter Thiel, Elon Musk. Isn't it strange how much control and power corporate oligarchs have over this country? Now, of course, you can turn around and say, well, you guys have your own version of that too. Like, I think that that's a valid statement. And the Democrats can say, we're not doing that anymore.